Hello everyone, it's me again, Steedoj here. But that's not important. What is important is if you subscribe so that way you are always up to date on more stuff. Because again, the boy, the master, the genius himself, me, I'm talking about me by the way, has figured out how to make Super Saiyan Blue Evolution unlimited. Kinda, maybe, also, but that's mostly dependent on how you choose to use Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Because there's multiple ways to make it quote-unquote unlimited. The obvious way that everyone's gonna go for is, oh, just have a Super Soul that recovers ki and use meditation at the same time. Because meditation alone is not enough. You guys can watch the other skill test video if you don't believe me. Meditation alone is not enough to stop the ki drain of evolution. So some people are just saying, oh, just use an auto ki recovery Super Soul like the Android ones plus meditation. That should surely do the trick. And unfortunately, that is not enough. As you can see, Super Saiyan Blue on its own can barely be maintained in the middle of combat. You can see that the bar will go down no matter how much damage I do. It's just inevitable. Completely inevitable. And meditation doesn't do a lot to stop it either. Now, the method I would rather use, because everyone's like, oh, just use an auto ki recovery Super Soul. The method I would rather use, because I'm a genius, and I think it's actually better for if you want to use this while fighting. All of the other methods are good for Evolution Blue, don't get me wrong, but they're good in the case if you just want to stand still or not use any super attacks ever. Because if you use a super attack, obviously that will lower your ki and that affects the length of the transformation, and that's exactly what you want. What you would want to use is the Prophetic Super Soul. Now, to get the Super Soul is from one of the new parallel quests, and the RNG for it is, I mean, it's kind of tough. But if you get the Super Soul, you're gonna need Blazing Attack as well, because it's synonymous with Blazing Attack. Every single time you use Blazing Attack, you'll gain a buff in Ki Supers, Strike Supers, and the amount of Ki you gain in general. Now, this stacks up to 3 times, and it goes up by M. So obviously you get 3 M buffs for a ki boost. And you can kind of see that Super Saiyan Blue Evolution will just not run out anymore when you're attacking people. You guys can see on screen, I'm just doing this combo forever. And it's not going to run out because I gain so much ki when I hit him that it's not going to run out, okay? That's what I want to say. On top of that, you can use Divinity Unleashed, and Divinity Unleashed, I even said this in the last video in the skill test again. If you haven't watched that, there's a link to that in the description. But Divinity Unleashed was the other method I was recommending in case if you don't want to use the Super Soul to increase the length of Evolution Blue. You can use Divinity Unleashed, however, you will need to keep activating it over and over again, because Divinity Unleashed does stay on for a very short amount of time. Nothing wrong with that, but it's just me saying that you won't be able to, you know, go crazy with it. But if you combine Divinity Unleashed and this Super Soul, which is what every true genius should be doing, that means you can use super attacks actively in combos and still have ki to maintain the form. It's honestly the best way to maintain the form, I would say. A good example is the character I'm using now doesn't even have that much ki, and you can still see how damn long I'm able to keep this up for. It's pretty impressive considering this takes away like a bar of ki every 3 to 4 seconds. It's kind of insane. The other recommended method I would say is if you have that Super Soul, the Margin Boost Super Soul from the TP shop. Now, a lot of people can even access the TP shop to begin with, so I doubt any of you even know what I'm talking about. But there's a Margin Boost Super Soul that makes you fall asleep at the start of the fight, but puts you in auto ki recovery mode, which means you gain more ki when you are attacked, when you are attacking, and your ki regenerates automatically. Now, it's not as much as the Prophetic Super Soul, but it's still a thing. Of course, this means you won't be able to actually use that many supers in combat. Again, that's why I recommend the Prophetic Super Soul with Divinity Unleashed. It allows you to actually use supers and be Super Saiyan Blue Evolution at the same time. Because Super Saiyan Blue Evolution it's kind of a basic attacker's transformation at the moment, unless if you know, specifically like tune some things to favor you. A good example is just this. It's what I'm doing on screen right now. Now, obviously, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution is more of a striker transformation. If you guys, again, I'm sorry to reference this for the 3rd time, but the skill test video, there's a link to it in the description. Super Saiyan Blue Evolution benefits strikers more, and Blazing Attack is a ki blast, but I think you'll be okay because Blazing Attack does buff strikes, so you can at least put on 1 strike move. You can just use Blazing Attack just for the buff, because you only need to use it 3 times, and it doesn't even need to connect. In fact, you can use it when you're in your base form, so that way your ki isn't, you know, running out from the start, and then you can just transform later. Because the buff is everlasting. It doesn't run out. It just lasts up until the end of the match. So, get 6 bars of ki, use Blazing Attack 3 times. It doesn't even need to hit anyone, just use it 3 times, and you have the buff. Then you go Evolution Blue, and you just beat them up in your strongest form. And they're just like, oh, when is this going to run out? Spoiler alert, it doesn't. So, you know, you just go to town with that. Now, some people might say, hey, what if I can't attack as often? What if I'm being attacked instead and I can't get the ki back because I'm not the one hitting my enemy? That's fine, because I feel like people keep forgetting, but you gain a ton of ki when you get attacked in this game. Just watch. I have 1 bar of ki right now, alright? Full ki. Full ki. Just from doing this. Because I gain extra ki from the Super Soul, and even more from Divinity Unleashed. And that was from 1 super attack, by the way. And don't forget, you might say, oh, but I don't want to get hit by a super attack. Evolution Blue is a defense buff. Please, you can handle that hit. Don't kid around. You can take that hit. To get all your ki back and just completely beat the hell out of your enemy the second he's done hitting you, it's worth it. It's completely worth it. And don't forget, these are hits from Evolution Vegeta. These should be doing way more of my health, but they're not even. They're not even. Because, again, I'm an absolute tank. You can see his Strike Super Final Blow. It gives me 4 bars of ki, or about 4 to 5 bars of ki every single time he hits me with it. So every single time the enemy hits you with about 1 super, let's say it's a single hit super like God Fist or Savage Strike, you might get about 3 to 4 bars of ki. I'm saying that because Savage Strike is a bit weaker, unless if you use the downwards version, the second input, you'd probably get like 5 bars of ki guaranteed if you get hit by that. But I mean, there's some single hit strike moves, which is, you know, the more popular kind of strike moves, the really quick ones. They will give you very, very quick ki, and a lot of ki blast attacks will just fill your ki instantly, because they hit a ton of times and then do a lot of damage on top of that. So, 1 super attack and you have your form back to full strength. Also, not to mention, ki with this form is essential. If you can actually use super attacks while you're in Evolution Blue, obviously that's great, because again, the skill test video, I'm going to reference it again, because I need to, it's very important. But if you get to hit people with any ultimate attacks, especially strike ults in this form, you basically win the fight, literally right then and there. It's, you just win. Even better, if you have the Kamehameha Super Soul, of course it'd be kind of hard to put on the Pathetic Super Soul and the Kamehameha Super Soul. If you have the Kamehameha Super Soul that increases strike supers, and you can times that by 6, you could effectively stamina break someone, go Blue Evolution, then just hit them with like 1 strike and they'll just die. Because you would have accumulated that damage the entire match. Because it's just way too strong of a form. Unlimited Evolution Blue is, it might become a meta, but it depends on how committed people are. Also depends on if people are lucky enough to actually get the Super Soul and then the Super Attack, and then also decide to use both at the same time. Because that would take up, again, 1 super and 1 super slot, 2 if you're going to use Divinity Unleashed, and it's going to take up an entire Super Soul. And maybe you want, I don't know, the new Super Soul that increases stamina and ki by XXL. You probably don't, because it's actually not that good, but just have, you know, it's not really that good, don't use that actually. And I have a spicy thing about Evolution Blue that makes the whole, you know, keeping it unlimited thing better, is that now, obviously, I'm sure some of, well, not even some, all of you should know, but a lot of evasives now require 2 bars of stamina, so it's basically just a vanish that guarantees that your enemy will be away from you. I say guarantees, but some are slower than others, so it's not, you know, an 100% guarantee. What I mean is, you'll get some evasives like Spirit Explosion, or certain things that can knock the enemy really far back, or deter them from wanting to come next to you. So of course, you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm really low on stamina. I have a ton of ki. Strokes chin. I know, I'll just use my evasive, it'll knock the person back, and then fly to the ground, and I'll have all my stamina back, and my form wouldn't have ran out by the time they get to me. So you still have ki to beat them up when they actually show up to fight you again, and you also have enough stamina to take them on a second time. And they'll just be like, did he really just get all of his stamina back from using an evasive? I say that like as if it's energy barrier. It's not that bad, alright? But some evasives like Spirit Explosion now, Instant Rise. A lot of new evasives only take 2 bars of stamina. So of course you can Instant Rise away from someone and then just fly straight to the ground. And you can make up that stamina back straight away because you're in Evolution Blue. That stamina recovery is ridiculous. I don't remember how quick it was for 1 bar of stamina. But that was insane. It's like 2 to 3 seconds for a bar of stamina, I believe. It's also worth noting that obviously, yes, your stamina comes back faster while you're being attacked too because, you know, passive stamina recovery. So you can, yeah, you can pretty much just get your ass kicked if you want whenever you're, you know, using this, don't want to call it a build? I'll call it a build. You can pretty much just be in any situation and you'll be getting ki and also a insane amount of stamina. So long as you're in Evolution Blue, you'll get an insane amount of stamina. But you always have the ridiculous ki because, you know, if you use the Super Soul recommended with the recommended super attack and added for Divinity Unleashed just for safe measure, then you can just kind of go crazy without ever stopping. You could probably kill someone in 1 stamina break with the Blazing Attack combo, actually. I believe you easily could. So here you'll see that it's actually consistently useful for me to just keep comboing someone with this build. You can see that I'm just gaining ki like as if it's a normal fight, It's just like, oh, you know, it doesn't even look like I'm in a transformation. That's how much ki I'm gaining. It's also worth using this again because not only can you actually use supers, but you can consistently spam supers like as if, again, you were just in your base form. Here's an example because I'm using a 2-bar super several times in a combo, and I'm not running out of ki, my transformation is not running out, and I'm doing a buttload of damage. Now you have to imagine if this was in a stamina break, obviously. Outside of the stamina break, it just kind of looks like, oh, well, inside the stamina break, you would easily kill someone in this exact same amount of time inside of the stamina break. Another reason to use these, again, really, really strong 2-bar supers is that you have the supers like Divine Retribution and Gigantic Breaker that do this much damage. Look at that. An entire health bar in a single hit. All thanks to Evolution Blue. And do not forget, the Super Soul I have also increases Ki Blast and Strike damage. And Gigantic Breaker is another one of those hybrid moves like Divine Retribution where it does Strike and Ki damage. So obviously if you have, you know, points in both, it will do both. So you can see why the projectile does an entire health bar right here. Pretty nonsensical, but it's the power that has been bestowed upon me because I went out of my way to use this build. I am now stronger than everyone else, and I deserve it, okay, because I worked hard for it. And you guys will also work hard for it if you want to get unlimited blue evolution. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do not forget, you can support me and the channel by subscribing, but you can also support me and the channel by leaving a like. Both help me out greatly. Obviously, as a content creator, I kind of need that to survive. So thank you so much. Comment down below other suggestions that you think would be a good way to maintain Evolution Blue. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Peace.